The absolute worst thing that can happen. You go out to your vehicle and you are sitting on a flat tire. I'm going to show you how to properly plug a tire. Greetings everyone, we are back in the shop today because there is absolutely nothing worse than getting ready to go out either for work, on a date, out to dinner, wherever, and you go out to your vehicle and you are sitting on a flat tire. Chances are you probably drove over a nail, a screw, something, punctured your tire, slowly leaked air over time, finally it's caught up to you and now you have a flat tire. I can help you fix that and show you how to properly plug a tire. If you go to a service station, tell them you need a tire plug, they're gonna charge you $20, $30, if not even more. I'm gonna put a link to a kit in the description below, less than 20 bucks for the repair kit. The repair kit is specific to plugging the tire. However, there's a couple other tools you're gonna need that you can have a ton of other uses for. Maybe some pliers, air compressor, glass cleaner, a utility knife. All of those things can be used so many other places around your home, around your car, except for the tire plug kit. Oftentimes in my videos, I like to leave you with a few tips just to help you out, something related to this situation. There's no way to avoid it. The only tip I can give you is don't drive over a nail. Good luck doing that. And sooner or later, you're gonna hit a nail, a screw, something, and it's gonna put a hole in your tire, ruin your day. You're not gonna be able to tell. I'm gonna show you how you can do the repair yourself, save some money, be a little more capable in the garage with your vehicles. Let's get started. Here are some of the tools and materials that you're gonna need to make this repair. These items here are what come in a standard tire repair kit. You have these two tools here. One is going to score the hole that the nail and the screw made in your tire. This is actually going to drive the plug in place. Here are your plugs here. These are very sticky and hard to handle, but they will do the job. Over here, some just general all-purpose tools that you may need. A pair of pliers of some sort. That's going to help you pull the screw or nail out of the tire. A pressure gauge. You're going to have to put air back into the tire so you can safely drive it. I always have some glass cleaner. This is going to help you find the location of the leak. I'll show you how to do that. And then a utility knife. This is just a simple razor. You could use a pair of scissors or something like that. What's going to happen is when you drive that plug into the tire, there's going to be some excess sticking out. You just want to trim that off. And then of course you're going to need an air supply, whether you have a compressor, an emergency air pump, something like that. You're going to have to fill that tire up at least twice. One, you need to pressurize the tire. That's necessary in order to put the plug in properly. And then two, you want to fill the tire with air to the appropriate pressure as indicated by your manufacturer. Here's an example of the air compressor I have here. This is DeWalt. They call it like a pancake model because the tank itself is kind of squished down. And you have your regulators here to tell you how much pressure is in the tank and how much you have going out to your supply line. An air compressor is something everybody should have in their shop. They make them small enough if you don't have a garage, but you still want to have one on hand, keep it inside the house, you can tuck it away in a closet or something like that. These can be found at your local hardware store. And that's basically it. Those are all the tools and materials that you're going to need to make this simple repair. The next thing you need to do is safely remove the tire from your vehicle, get it into an open working space. Please do that safely. Put that on a jack stand, put blocks behind your tires. Don't let that vehicle roll away from you and come crashing down. You might have a lot more repairs to do if that were to happen. Get the tire in the shop and let's get to work. All right, as you can see, I've gotten the tire off my vehicle. I've gone into the workshop and I can already see that there's a nail right there. This is what you need the glass cleaner or that all-purpose cleaner for. We're gonna see if this is actually leaking because sometimes you can drive over a nail if it's like a short nail or something like that, a little screw. It may not have punctured the tire. Looks like it did, but not really. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and take your glass cleaner and you wanna go ahead and just spray it right on top of where you think the leak is. And what you're looking for is bubbles. If there is a leak, they will form all sorts of bubbles all around this area. With one spray of this glass cleaner, you can see all these bubbles forming. Clearly, that's air leaving out of that tire, and that's where my leak is. Look at all these bubbles forming up. Now that I've identified where this leak is, I need to get all my materials and tools ready so I can plug this thing up and be on my way. All right, now I want to go ahead and prepare the plug. So you can see that this particular tool here has this little slot here. We're going to try to really maneuver one of these plugs down into that groove. So you want to open up and separate it from the plastic and paper. And you really only need one. However, if it's depending on the size of the screw or the nail, maybe you put two in at a time. But really, one does the job. So you're going to take the plug and just right halfway, start working it up into that slot. A little twisting. And then there you go. That's ready to go. Once you remove that nail or the screw, the tire is just going to start leaking air like crazy. So you want to take this and drive this into the hole. It's almost like a file here. So when you put that into the hole, you want to score it up and down to file the edges and really rough them up so that that plug will really adhere to the hole. All right, so at the nail, we got to get this out and get that plug in. Remember, the tire needs to be pressurized. If you don't pressurize the tire and you try to remove this and then plug it without any air in it, the tire is just going to give way and you're not going to have any resistance. So you really want to pressurize the tire, put about 30-35 pounds of air into the tire, and then begin to work. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of air. We're going to go ahead and remove this, and remember, have this tool ready, because as soon as that nail comes out, it's going to start leaking a lot of air. There we go. It's about ready to come out of the tire. I'm going to have this ready. All right, now that this is in and ready to go, now you got to get your plug ready. This tool actually makes the hole in the tire a little bit bigger, so when you remove this, a lot more air is going to come out. You want to quickly drive that plug in, twist the handle, pull this tool out of the tire. The plug will stay in the tire. Let's give it a go. Okay, sometimes this is a little difficult. All right, took some strength. I've driven this down in. Now I'm going to twist. Go ahead and pull the tool out, and you see that the plug stays in the tire. Now the next thing you want to do, you see all this excess here, is take your utility knife and trim off this excess. All right, get that out of the way. Now you're not done yet. You want to make sure you check for leaks. You take your glass cleaner, I'm going to check for leaks now. Make sure that your plug has sealed. I see no bubbles. That plug is set. Put air back in the tire. Check your vehicle for how much pressure needs to be in. Mine is about 32 to 35 PSI. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that and check it. Put this back on my truck and I'll be on my way. Check the pressure first. And I've got about 23 PSI. That's about 32. I'm good with that. I'm gonna get this back on the truck. And that's it. The repair is done. That's all there is to it. If I can do it, any of you can do it. If you haven't already done so, please give me a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Drop me a comment below. I'd love to hear your ideas, thoughts behind any of this. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Really appreciate you hanging out with me today. I'm the Capable Gentleman, showing you ways to go from dirty to dapper. This is the dirty part. Always encouraging you to never stop learning. Be kind, everyone. See you next week.